Hi everyone, welcome to your Module 9 overview video. We are in the very home stretch of Course 3, so hopefully that's exciting because Course 4 flies by. So I guess that means you're almost at the end of your school year, which is crazy, perhaps. Crazy to me. So quick review of Module 8. Module 8 is where you were introduced to some of the strategies for supporting the affective needs of your gifted students, and you submitted your article review number 2, the reflection of the bullying article. So I'm looking forward to grading those this week. And just a quick heads up that I know we didn't look at strategies for supporting affective needs as part of your 4 model lessons that you had to do for Course 3. However, in Course 4, one of your assignments is a smaller personal project. And that personal project, I'm going to give you lots of options or choices as to what you want your personal project to be. But perhaps if this material for Module 8, supporting the affective needs of gifted students, if that really kind of tugged at you and it's something that you're interested in because you feel like it's a need in your school or a need in your classroom or your grade level or content area, perhaps you kind of hold on to some of those resources or flag them and they become part of your personal project in Course 4. So moving on to Module 9. So Module 9 is kind of just a summative module that looks at strategies for your content area. So your assignments here are going to be due next Monday night, April 8th at midnight. So for reading, you just have one reading because I want the rest of your time to be spent on your instructional unit projects and wrapping up your shadow experience. So for elementary teachers, if you can, please read Teaching Gifted Kids Chapter 5. And then if you're a middle school or high school teacher, I've linked 4 different chapters there. Just pick one of those, whichever chapter pertains to your content area. If you're a middle school or high school teacher who is not in one of those 4 main content areas, i.e. Dr. Sparks, perhaps one of those may be of most interest to you, or maybe even the Teaching Gifted Kids Chapter 5 book or Chapter 5 reading, that may be helpful. So your assignments, your model lesson reflections are due. I'm going to hop out of this presentation just a moment and review what that document looks like again. And then make sure you work on your instructional unit project. Those are due in Module 10. And then work on your shadowing experience journal entries. Entries 6 and 7, those are also going to be due in Module 10. So let me hop out to get to this document for a moment. That's just my placeholder to remind me to do so. So in this document that you have, if you implemented the Bloom's lesson, the grouping lesson, the creative thinking or creative problem solving or your choice lesson, you're going to be writing your reflections of your implementation lesson in those boxes. You did not have to implement all of them. You may have just implemented 1 or 2 or 3, but do write your reflections in there. If you implemented part of the lesson, write down your reflection. But let your reflection be detailed. Please don't just say it was good. Use this as a time to reflect on even how you may tweak the lesson moving forward, what worked and what didn't work, etc. So if you did not implement any of those lessons because perhaps they were lessons that you designed for future use, for next year, or tweaking lessons that you've already done in the past, then you probably won't have any reflections to turn in. Again, that's okay, but you'll see on that grade sheet, you just won't have a document there, so you won't have any of those possible 4 points. So back to the slideshow. Module 10, just a heads up for Module 10. Reminder, it's Tuesday, April 16th. It's not Monday, April 15th because you have that day off. So we have to meet Tuesday evening. And again, sorry about that, but it's just kind of how the weeks sort of panned out. Your instructional unit projects are going to be due and you're going to have a short presentation on your project. And the presentations are going to be that round robin experience that was very similar to your case study experiences in Course 1, where you did 2 small group presentations back to back and people rotated to your group. So it'll take on that same format. Your presentations will probably only be about 8 minutes long. And essentially you need to make sure that your presentation covers your project. So your presentation must include an overview of your unit, just a quick overview. Present your 4 differentiated lessons where you're highlighting the element that you used to the element that you differentiated, whether you differentiated the lesson's content, product, or process, what differentiation strategy you use, maybe use grouping or multiple intelligences or acceleration or a mini curriculum compacting, etc. And then your rationale for the strategy, why you felt that strategy supported that lesson or why you wanted to use it. And then present your differentiated assessment or your curriculum compactor, whichever one you chose. You chose one or the other, and then respond about or provide a short reflection to your audience. There will be a few minutes for questions. I'm hoping it'll be interactive, and I'm going to split it up a little bit so that you should be able to at least visit someone's presentation who is either in the same content area, like another social studies teacher, or at least the same grade level, so you can get insight into what other teachers are doing there. So I'm going to try and organize it the best I can so that this experience for you is not only helpful in presenting it, maybe getting ideas from your audience, but as an audience member, you start to get other ideas of how you can differentiate and support your gifted students. So I will see you Tuesday, April 16th at 4:30, where we will wrap up Course 3. And other than that, have a great rest of your week. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. You're welcome to email me anytime.